history is made. For the first time since the history of the Toastmasters speech contest, since 1938, we had a woman come in first, second, and third. Wow. In fact, Ramona J. Smith is only the 5th woman to ever win the world championship since it began. That's amazing and awesome. Congratulations, Ramona. In fact, Ramona called me a couple weeks ago and she had seen a critique of her speech and she said to me, Darren, that was the best critique I've heard about my speech. She had read an article. By the way, if you want to check out the article, it's on my blog. Just click here and we will show you that article and you can read what she wrote. But I thought what I would do is actually sit down on video and critique her speech piece by piece. In fact, what I encourage you to do right now, if you haven't seen the speech, go watch it. Number 2, if you have seen the speech, watch it again so it's fresh in your head, and you might even open another window because I'm going to give you specific time codes for you to see what I'm talking about at that exact time code. So open another window so you can see what I'm talking about as you watch this video. Hi, my name is Darren LaCroix, and back in 2001, I was fortunate enough to win the World Championship myself. But here's the key, I didn't do it alone. It was definitely my coach, Mark Brown, who showed me a whole different level of speaking. See, I brought him the first version of my championship contest speech, and Mark looked at it. He said, "Oh, Darren, we have some work to do." What? But what he showed me was a whole other level that I didn't even know was there. He showed me a perspective that I hadn't learned after 7 years as a Toastmaster, being in 4 clubs. So this video is going to give you some insights into Ramona's speech and what made it a winner. I've also critiqued the other 2, number 2 and number 3, and a video of the finalists, the other people. So if you want to check that out, please watch those videos. But I'm going to get really specific. Now, I'm not using the judges form. My goal, what I do for a living, is coach speakers to impact their audience, to leave a lasting impression so the audience is different because they heard the speech. So some of the things may jive with the coaches form. I'm not here. The judges got it right. I'm not here to correct anything, but I'm going to be honest, just like I was in my article. And Ramona loved that. So let's look at Ramona's speech. What made it so good? By the way, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or down there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get insights like this on a regular basis so you can impact your audience more quickly, deeper. Okay, right at 20 seconds on the time code, notice that you can already see that Ramona is loving this. She is totally owning the stage already at this moment. That's a beautiful thing. That's a mindset thing. That's something I learned from Mark Brown, my coach. You can tell that she has a message that she is passionate and can't wait to give her audience. When you take the stage, is that how you start off? See, we can sense it. This is what I call intention. She has an intention to sincerely lean in and help the audience from her own life experience. Mark, when he was teaching me, he had said that he knew he had a message to give that he couldn't wait to give the audience. In fact, he said that when he stood going up on stage, waiting for his name to be called, there were handrails on the stairs there. And he said he was just all excited. And he just, when they called his name, launched himself onto the stage because he was there and he had a gift they had been working on that he couldn't wait to give. That's what makes this special. Right at the beginning, the first 30 seconds, the audience is judging you. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it's happening. What do you do in your first 30 seconds? 3 seconds later, 23 seconds in, notice she immediately goes into a very convincing boxer's pose. Now, look, this is not sexist. We don't expect a boxer's pose from a woman right at the very beginning. It's just draws us in. But notice, here's what I want you to see. Look at her facial expression and look how committed to her character she is. Look how she takes the presence on. This is a dream as a coach. I call this she Will Ferrelled. If you don't know the actor Will Ferrell, he's a total goofball, but he owns his characters. He goes all in, and you can see that with Ramona. So right now, we're already starting to connect with her and love her because she's all in, and she's committed, and she takes that pose, and it's convincing. It's not just like trying to pretend. She's in it. So at 31 seconds, she does this beautiful. This is great writing combined with amazing delivery. Punches, jabs, and hooks. There's no extra words here. But what I also love is when she does them, she does the punches, jabs, and hooks, like from 3 different directions with 3 different intentions. She calls back to what these are, and she says they're challenges, obstacles, and failures. So they come in the form of challenges, obstacles, and failures. There's just no extra words, and varying the delivery as she changes her voice intonation. And the beauty of this in the writing part is she calls back to it later on. She's going to come back to this. So we just kind of look at it, oh, okay, I got it. But it's important. She's planting a seed early on in her speech that she's going to call back to later. At 45 seconds, she plants a really subtle, beautiful message that I love. And quite honestly, this is really, I think, the message of her speech. She says, if you learn from those past fights, like that's what she's trying to say. This sets up, now it's really subtle in the speech. She's not yelling it or screaming it, but I love the message. And that's truly what we need to do in life is every fight we have, we got to learn from it to get better, to be better in the next fight. So subtle message, brilliant. I think this is really the essence of what she's trying to say. Love it. At 58 seconds, she did something brilliant. A lot of speech contestants think that they have to acknowledge the contest chair. Now, it's not a written rule that you need to, but some people, and if one or a few judges think they need to, this is where I will go to the judges forum. Some people think they need to, so I'm okay with it too. It's never good at the beginning of your speech. It's better as the bridge to the body of your speech. And she does it perfectly, though. I've never seen this before. She says, Mr. Contest Master, fellow fighters. Boom, done, move on. Not Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Too formal. She just, and fellow fighters. I love that, succinct, boom. Get it out of the way, check that off. Moving on. 121. This is beautiful. This like makes me the stageologist, the guy who uses the stage purposefully and teaches that. This is like almost brought a tear to my eye. In silence, notice she transitions from one part of her story to the next part of her story. She doesn't use a transition line, which is cool to do it in silence, but she specifically finished the section she was on and she went to the next one. Here's what I also loved. Round 1, college. Like she said it with such authority. Again, the brevity of words, but it's clear. 99% of what I coach is clarity, clarity, clarity. We're not clear with our message. A lot of people have created world-class speeches, but they just haven't finished it yet. They haven't finished clarifying it and getting it succinct. And she did a beautiful job here using the stage. And notice she moves over to audience left. Now keep in mind the audience thinks like time frame left to right because we read from left to right. So she uses audience left as round 1. And then you'll notice later on how she does round 2 and round 3. Check it out. At 133, I love this. She uses transparency. If you want to connect with your audience, you got to be willing to be open. And she admits that she quit college 4 times. 4 times. Quitting once is a big deal. Twice, but 4. Now, here's the key. Are you transparent? Are you willing to open up and talk about your failures and your flaws? She does this beautifully, and she uses a little bit of dialogue. She says, I told myself. So she does a little bit of dialogue, but if I was to work with Ramona, I would have gone deeper. I would have gone to the moments when she had that internal dialogue of the actual decision to quit. Or the decision to go back. Like those are the key moments, and she kind of breezed over those. Now look, she still won, and the judges got it right. Here's the thing though, it could have been even better. But hey, don't think I'm judging because I look at my speech and I can see many things that I would have improved. But in the moment, it worked. But for you, what are those moments? What are those moments when you transition, when you're aha, when you make a decision? Let's go deeper into that, and I think it would have been even more powerful. And I've advised her that if she turns this into a keynote, which she should, that's a very good place to go deeper. At 144, now she transitions to round 2, and I love this. She just says, moves in silence, beautiful, to the center of the stage, round 2. And what I love is she just says that, round 2, marriage. And she puts up her fist just for a second. Notice how she does it, and we get it. And then she goes right into the story. It's not round 2. Well, let's talk about marriage and my marriage and da-da-da. Like, no. She just, round 2, marriage. Clear, specific, and did the subtle hands up to just bring us back and connect us to her analogy. 209, great humor, great misdirection. She led us to talk about her marriage where it's 8 long, beautiful, amazing months. So she leads us to think years. Nice job, well-written comedy. 245, she starts speaking about speaking in the speech contest. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of speaking about a speech contest that you're in, but it worked for her. She made it work, but I think it was even more so because of the authority, the passion, and the intention she had for the audience. But I would have advised her not to talk about a Toastmasters speech contest in a speech contest. But that's just me. 359, love the alliteration. Family, friends, and faith. Great alliteration, gets the point across. Most speakers don't take the time to wordsmith like that. I got that. I learned that from Mark Brown. Brilliant. Well done, Ramona. 430. Notice her amazing use of body language. She actually crouches down and takes on the posture of an encouraging coach. What I love about this is it's few words, body language, mission accomplished, message delivered. 454. I love this line that she had, and I thought it was really good. She said, the mirror of defeat that becomes a window of opportunity. Or opportunities. What I love about this is the transition when the change happens. What I really felt was missing though is what did she learn it from? Who did she learn it from? Who was the guide or the mentor or the guru? I really think that element was missing. We don't have to take long to do that, but I think that's again another idea I would plant for her if she turns this into a keynote. Or for you, who's the guide? Who's the mentor that helped create that transition in your lesson learned? 503. Notice she now goes back to that same position on stage, audience left, where we left round 1. What's brilliant about this is it's very clear to the audience. When you use the stage, you're either diluting your message or clarifying your message. So she does this perfectly. What I would really love to hear was who inspired her? What triggered her to go back to college that last time and commit so much that she graduated magna cum laude? What was that inspiration? What was that trigger? I think that was missing and would have made it even better. 558, great line. As for my marriage, I'm still in training. I love the humility of this. I love that she just gets real. And again, we're connecting with her all the way because of that. Notice she also gets an unexpected laugh, and she almost steps on it. Stepping on a laugh is when the audience laughs unexpectedly and you start to speak, which suppresses their laugh. She didn't do that. She caught herself. But if you notice, watch her face. She didn't really see that laugh coming. Well done. At 609, notice her presence. This is a beautiful moment. She's not forcing anything. She's not trying. She's just there. Enjoying the moment, enjoying the connection with you. That's a champion. At 707, this was probably my favorite moment of the whole contest, when Ramona got the audience to unexpectedly sing, yeah, yeah, yeah. And notice the surprise on her face. And she just loved that moment. It's just like a half a second, but notice that it's because she created such a great connection. And she had said the yeah, yeah, yeah before and kind of left it open, and the audience jumped in and they loved her. That was a beautiful moment. At 7:20, she does the brilliant callback to 45 seconds, where she says, if you learn from those past fights. See, that's our real message that I believe she was getting across, I think. But what do you think? Two important things about her speech. Number one, myth busted. So many people come to me, I have to make my speech funny. She did not have the most laughs. In fact, there were two other speakers that had a lot more laughs than her. So humor is good, but only if it's reinforcing the message and you tell it organically through your story. So you don't need it. The message is what matters. And number two, This, in my opinion, if I just saw this on paper, I might not think it's a winning speech. I knew it would have been a good one. But here's what mattered, and here's what made it a winner. And Ed Tate, fellow world champion, said this best. So I'll recap what he said about the speech. He said, Ramona had the 3 elements of an effective speaker. He said, authority means that you own the stage, looking and sounding like you belong. Do you do that? Number 2, energy means that the subject matter is important, that her intention is important, that she knows this is a gift to give her audience. And number 3, awareness means looking at the audience and making them feel important. It's listening with your eyes. And Ed said Ramona had all 3, and I 100% agree. If you'd like to see even more insights, I didn't have time for in this video, trying to keep it short, go check out the article that I wrote on my blog. More importantly, here's the lesson that I learned in 2001, that you must be coachable or there is no cure. In 2001, I had let my ego get in the way, and I didn't even look for coaches. I was trying to do it myself. So thank goodness I found Mark Brown, and Mark was kind and gentle and showed me I had so much more to learn. So who are your coaches? Look, if things aren't, if at first you don't succeed, get a coach, because you can't become great alone. So if you'd like to connect with me or my coaches, check out Stage Time University. If you like these insights, there's so much more there. We have weekly live calls that you can interact with us and give you feedback on your speech. But definitely check out Stage Time University. Thanks for watching this video. Real important. If this was helpful to you, please pass this on to your speaker friends. Forward it to them and let them get the insights that you enjoyed. And please like this video. Add some comments below. Agree, disagree. What do you think? Put it below. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope this helped give you some insight so when you take the stage, you realize you have an awesome responsibility. You have the audience's lives that you can impact if you do it right.